Very much, Ambassador Asani, dear Igli. Sorry, I wasn't expecting to speak, so you won't find me in a suit. But, I just wanted to thank the organizer of this event, Tula, Luca Frattini, Douglas Wake. I think it's a very timely event, and I very much appreciate the event. As you can see, there are two representatives of the OSCE Parliamentary Assembly, Roberto Montella, who doesn't only represent the Parliamentary Assembly, but the entire OSCE families, and this afternoon Vice President Vigenin will address the participants. But thank you also, Ambassador Asani, for your moderation role and for the speech that you made at the beginning. I think you were very realistic about where the OSCE is now, and you channeled the discussion in the right direction. Let me take it from what Ambassador Zania said. He said, when ministers engage, the organization get going. I think this is the biggest challenge we have, in my opinion, with the organization, is really to be able to sell the organization to its bosses, to the ministers. I think there is not so much political attention in the organization. I have been very many times in ministerial meetings, I've engaged with ministers. I see them busy in between a North Atlantic ministerial meeting that happened the week before. The following week, they're going to a European Council meeting. They are in the OSCE midst, and probably they don't really know what they're there for. They will read a speech prepared by their ambassador, but their focus is not on the OSCE. And I think what we really need to do here is to be able to sell the organization, not so much to the greater public. We always talk about the visibility of the OSCE. I think what is really needed is being able to sell the OSCE to the ministers, to its bosses. And how to do so? This is an organization that costs 138.2 million euro. If you think about plus the SMM, another 100 million. If you think about what is the package that the EU passed, 750 billion, few months ago in Brussels, the prime ministers and the foreign ministers of the EU met for 4 days, and they agreed on a package of 750 billion. While here we're talking about 132 million, with all the things that the OSCE does, and we find always a very difficult process of passing its budget. This is because there is lack of political attention to the organization. How to raise political attention and how to get the interest of the ministers. I think we need to go back to the roots of who are the beneficiaries of this organization, who are the end users of the OSCE products. And I speak here not as OSCE PA Secretary General, but I have had an experience for 10 years in the OSCE field operations, and I've seen with my own eyes people who have actually benefited from the work of the OSCE. This organization does great work. I mean, Ambassador Zania mentioned some of them, and I'm not going to list all those who have benefited from the OSCE product. But there are people in the field, people in Kyrgyzstan, people in Ukraine, people in Southeast Europe especially, who have seen their lives improved thanks to the work of the many people, the women and men who work in the OSCE field operations, but not only in the field operations, also in the headquarters and in the independent institutions. So there are people who have always seen their life improved thanks to the work of the OSCE, but we are failing to pass this message to the ministers. So one proposal for you, Ambassador Asani, I proposed this to Miroslav Lajčák when he became chairman in office, but it wasn't taken on. I would say when you have the ministerial meeting, I don't know, in an hybrid or an in-person version, normally the prime minister, in this case, foreign minister, will deliver a statement, a 10-minute statement. And we know, I've been in many ministerial, you have the entire cahier, either de doléances or cahier of all the OSCE dossier there. But if, and I know Prime Minister Rama is a person who is also likes challenges. Well, my challenge would be here, instead of speaking for 10 minutes or going through the entire OSCE agenda, if you could speak 3 minutes and have 7 minutes dedicated to individuals, and if you can find, you know, a nice video, or you can find a way to have individuals in Bishkek, in Kiev, in Donbass, in Buyanovac, in Albania, would simply say themselves, my life has improved thanks to the OSCE work. And when you have there the ministers for 10 minutes focusing on the OSCE because the chairman in office is speaking to them, and they could hear with their own ears and eyes and see with their own eyes those who have benefited from the OSCE work, I think we would do a great service to this organization. But again, these are off the script remarks. I wasn't prepared for this, but I thought I'd contribute also when there was a moment of silence. But for the official OSCE position, stick to what Ambassador Zanier told you or what Christian Vigenin will tell you. This is my personal contribution to this. But thank you very much and congratulations to the event, and thanks to the speakers.